What is up, everybody?
Yo.
What's up? How you doing?
Good.
Who the fuck are you? I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Sorry. Justin, Vector, am I going or you're going? You're about to talk. Or am I talking?
I can do the
Go ahead.
intros.
Let's
All right,
do it.
so welcome back, everyone. We're in episode 15 of KOS. So yeah,
Scoot over a little bit.
yeah.
Get in the shot.
Scoot over a little bit too.
Like I just noticed that. It's like, what happened here? All right, cool. All right,
That's better.
All right. So yeah, again, episode 15. Welcome back, everyone. Thank you for tuning in again once more. So yeah, today we have another special guest who goes by
Russell.
Russ, you can call me Russ.
No, call him Russell.
Russell is good.
No, call him Russ. I'm kidding.
I
I'm
don't
just
really
giving him
care
a
what
hard
you call.
time. No, you should care.
I mean, I got so many names that it's just like at this point, whatever you call me is what you're gonna call me.
So,
And I feel like Russ is more personal, you know. So it's just like,
okay, Russ. You feel like Russ was too like not personal?
No, just between my dad and like my names that I used to perform and whatnot.
Yeah,
those are very
because
like.
you have like a lot of like.
I got like 3 of them.
What other names do you go by when you perform?
Tony Masters.
Do you have your stripper name?
Yeah.
What's-
Actually, Tony Masters is my stripper name.
Oh shit!
Yeah,
Okay,
sounds
now
very,
I know where to find you.
suave.
It does. It sounds like you know what you're doing.
What
What else? So Tony Masters and what else? Gar?
Gar is another one. Gar is like kind of the original name. My last name's Garcia, so it kind of goes in with that. And then there's Skeleton Assassin, and then that's pretty much it. That's all of them. I just released the tape under Tony Masters, so
Why under Tony Masters?
it just has a lot to do with like comic books and things like that.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm very MF Doom inspired. I know Justin likes MF Doom as well.
Mhm.
But yeah, it's just a comic book reference.
Do you like Marvel comic books or we're talking
Yeah.
old school comic books?
If
Did
you
you like the Avengers movie or are you not a fan of it?
That's a good question. I like the Avengers movie, but I'll be honest, I never seen a whole Avengers movie, like as far as the Infinity Stones getting involved and whatnot. But I have, seen the movies before
Did
that.
you watch Endgame?
I did not watch Endgame.
You see this door right here? You're gonna have to get out of here.
Damn,
You're done for the day. I'm kidding.
Yeah, no, Endgame wasn't for me, man. I've recently been really getting into comics again, like the
Okay.
actual books.
Like the actual books.
Yeah, so like that has been kind of taking me away from the movies, but it's really cool because it gets you into like reading and like, drawing and stuff. So
Do you draw? Do you draw? No, you do draw a little bit, right?
I do. I'm
I've
kind of
seen-
all
I've
over the
seen-
place, to be
I've seen
honest.
it.
I just
You're a
kinda-
creative individual.
I am.
Your brain is just dysfunctionally functional.
Right, especially after smoking.
did you smoke before this?
I did a little bit, yeah.
Okay, cool. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Yeah,
Kids, don't do that though.
don't do that.
Shout out to the kids.
Shout out to the kids, man. Don't do that, kids, unless
So what's
you
up,
thought
man?
about it yourself.
No, don't do it. So what's up, man? What are you expecting from the show? I never asked anyone that, but I'm gonna ask you. What are you expecting from the show?
Honestly, I don't know, man. It's called Knowledge of Self,
Yes.
right?
Mhm.
So I just expected maybe some spiritual talk, maybe a little bit of success talk.
Yeah.
And then maybe a little bit of, I know obviously all of us are kind of like artists, so a little bit of art, hip hop talk as well.
I think that's what we talked
That's
about.
what
Actually,
you guys talk about, huh?
yeah, I
can
think
tell.
we really talk about that.
I was
actually.
talking to this girl right now, and she's like, "What's the name of the podcast?" And I was like, "I think it's Knowledge of Self." And she's like, "That sounds like a dope listen." And I was like, "Oh, all right."
I think we're getting there. I think we're finally getting comfortable with this, and I
Yeah.
think this is our 14th episode in, and 15th or 14th?
15th.
15th episode in, and
Damn.
we're just trying to chime in there and just
Uh-huh.
get comfortable with being uncomfortable behind the camera.
Hey, it happens, man. And I feel like you guys got a couple good, you said you're on number 14, 15. That's
15.
awesome.
So your guess, well, technically, guess number like 13, 12?
I would say 12.
12.
12.
Our 12th guess.
Sick. 12 guests in here. I'm so hyped. That's
You should
awesome.
be hyped. Go jump off the table and land on somebody. I'm kidding. I don't know why I'm talking like that.
That's all good.
So you just recently dropped some music. If I'm not mistaken, I see there's an Inner Strength boxing.
Yes.
Shout out to our homie.
Shout out to Inner Strength. Shout out to George.
Actually, it was ironic because originally our first guest for the day wasn't supposed to be was supposed to be Solstice. I'm Jair. But I was actually gonna get George on here.
Oh, shit.
But
That'd
it
be
was
dope.
too last minute.
Yeah.
So it would have been cool. So we're gonna get, I think we've interviewed artists, and now I think we're at a point because you just said success. And we talk about fitness sometimes on this.
Yeah, like a few episodes.
So
Like,
I
as
think-
far as like something getting more in depth, like in terms of diet, like how you're lifting.
Yeah, so it'd be cool to get like another idea of like a coach in here.
Dude, yeah, that's
So
sick.
getting George in here would be pretty cool. It'd be fun.
Yeah, that'd be sick. George is a good guy, man. He's cool.
So working out. So I see the Inner Strength logo. I've trained you a few times.
Mhm.
So why do you work out? We're gonna talk about. We're gonna talk about fitness for a bit. Why do you work out? Why do you exercise?
That's a great question. There's a lot of reasons why to exercise. Just off the top of my head, it keeps you happy right away. As soon as you're done, like you just feel good. You feel like you can get things done. You just moved a lot of weight, or you either ran a long distance or you worked out for a certain period of time. So for me, it makes everything else that I'm doing like seem really small because I just use my body to do a bunch of things. You know what I'm saying? And another reason I work out is just because I noticed my posture was like starting to like get a little weak. So I was like, man, I can't
close to the mic.
I can't have that. I can't have that weak posture.
You don't have to lower your voice though.
I know. I wanted to test the mic out.
Nah, but posture is important. I'm glad
Yeah,
you
it
spoke
is.
on posture. Posture is a big thing.
And I just always been active. I was in baseball when I was little, and then basketball, skateboarding, and then wrestling. So I just been all over the map.
That's good, man.
Yeah.
He trains. Have you been to his new spot?
I have not.
Has it opened yet?
I believe it has. I believe he had a 12-person class today.
Oh wow! Oh, that's right. He did have class today at noon. So
Yeah.
we're talking. So for those who don't know, I think Vector's met George. Vector, you met George, right? You met my friend George. He does the boxing class with us.
Oh yeah.
You met George before. So we have a mutual friend named George. He's a great boxing coach, and he just opened up a facility with a few people.
Yes, he did.
It's his brand is called Inner Strength, and I think the facility is called Lucha's.
Oh, it's Luchador Barbell Club.
Luchador Barbell Club,
is the
yes.
original guy he's working with, but I believe they opened a separate facility,
Something like that.
which is next door. He bought that property as well, or that rented that space out as well, and now they're combining both of them. And one side is going to be like mostly boxing, and the other side is going to be like lifting weights.
Yeah, weight training, and I know George is excited. I'm happy for it because George is talking about success and whatnot. George has helped me a lot with my business and my brand when I needed another coach around. So it's great that seeing another individual who, like you just said, we're going to talk about success, who is on his path to success or already successful, but gaining more success through the rise of others. So that's cool, man. Kind of cool that working out. We talk about working out a lot on this podcast. I'm
That's
sure
cool, man. It's important today.
It is. Sometimes I'm just like, I don't want to talk about working out.
Yeah, well, for you, like you're always surrounded by it, so you know.
Yeah, I'm taking 3 days off from the gym, I think.
That's good, man.
It's the first time I've done that in some time, but I feel like I need it. How long you been making music for?
Dude, for a long time.
How long time is a long time?
Probably sophomore year of high school. So I graduated 2012. So I'm talking like 2010 right now. So it's 2019.
You went to Walnut?
I went to Walnut High School.
Okay.
Yes, I did.
Don't ask me how. I know everything about you know that guy who's doing those interviews with like Lil Uzi and Lil Uzi runs away, or he's like the awkward guy who asks.
Oh, you're talking about
Nardwar.
Nardwar. Nardwar.
Who is that guy?
Who is not that guy?
Do you know?
I don't know the guy, but like he does real good research, like where he throws the artists off in terms of like
Everything.
some of the artists are surprised, like, how do you know about that? But they're shocked, but they're also amused by it. Like they'll get thrown off, but they'll still answer the question. And some of it is kind of hilarious. Like, I mean, he's interviewed like Questlove, Tyler the Creator. Some of them actually play with his personality, so they go back and forth. Those are the most interesting ones. Some of them they kind of take it a little too serious or too stiff about it.
Yeah,
but
I'm that guy when it comes to Russell. I know him. I know everything about him.
He's the Nardwar.
I'm just kidding. I don't. I just know a little bit. I just know a little bit about Russ. If there's one word you could describe your music, how would you describe your music? That's not fair.
Damn, that's
not
tough.
fair. Okay, 5 words.
5 words. Okay, is sometimes dark, sometimes it's trappy, sometimes it's 90s boom bappy, sometimes it's telling a story. But I always try to keep that aspect of like having fun throughout. That's like a theme throughout the entire time. Like I don't want you to be bored listening to it. I always want you to like kind of keep you guessing.
Is that how you would describe yourself as a person?
Negative.
Ooh, negative. No. How would you describe yourself as a person?
As a person, recently I've been growing pretty disciplined, so my life's not very like here and there anymore. It's always just like I'm doing this or I'm working on music. There's like a pattern or a routine to it, to where like in my music I try to keep it like I'm a different character, which I feel like brings a.
Do you feel like you're letting out that side of you, not in a dark side? I don't want to say negative side of you.
No, not a negative side. Yeah.
But do you feel like you're letting that? Do I want to say adventurous side out in the music?
Sure, yeah, for sure, yeah.
That side of you that's like doesn't care.
No, because there's definitely times where I don't care, but it just allows you to tell a story differently by having a second character, or changing it up from a different perspective.
So is the person who raps different from the person who's in the seat?
Sometimes he is, sometimes he's not. That's the thing.
Have you been asked that question before?
By just my homies, Invisible Committee, like they know exactly what I'm trying to do. People who aren't, in my crew, they're a lot more confused. But I feel like the music tells it the best. So if you just listen to the music, you get like a better understanding.
Yeah, that makes sense. I feel like it does. I feel like we tend to overthink it all, and then we just go like, "Nah, bro, it's just I said it, and I just want to be simple with it, and that's how I feel, and I feel better." How long have you been making? Wait, I already asked you that question. Duh.
2010, so that's 9 years.
9 years, damn.
Yeah.
And you do some production?
Yes, I do. I'm actually just getting into that, and I started releasing instrumentals on DistroKid. You can follow me at Tony Masters on DistroKid, and so my stuff's on Spotify, Apple Music, and all the streaming platforms that are hot right now. Like if you sign up for DistroKid, it kind of releases it on everything that you want, as long as you own the rights to that music. So.
Own the rights to your music. Own the rights to your music. How's I haven't seen him in a while. What's his name? Your homie.
You talking about Gosk?
Yeah.
K-Sog's great, man.
Where's he been? K-Sog, shout out K-Sog.
Shout out K-Sog, man. Really,
where is K-Sog?
One of my favorite homies, man. That's my brother. Right now he's probably in Pomona or somewhere around town. He's
probably with a beer in his hand, huh?
Nah, he's probably working right now.
No, yeah. I didn't mean that in the wrong way.
No, maybe he does have a beer in his hand. I don't know.
I
don't know what he's doing.
Maybe a beer and a skateboard. That just sounds. It's Saturday. It's Saturday and it's sun out.
Yeah.
So I figured he might have a beer and a skateboard.
He could be possibly with the beer and a skateboard, and very likely a joint, right?
Most likely. We'll just say that. Are you from Pomona, Walnut?
My address says Pomona, but I know that I was mostly raised in Walnut, so I don't go as far as to say that I'm from Pomona, but. That was high school time, right? Now that I've become an artist, I've spent so much time in Pomona and in the downtown scene, and especially with K-Sog, who's straight from Pomona, that I feel like I kind of own the right to be able to say, yeah, I'm from Pomona now because I've been there for so long.
You can't even say Pomona adopted you.
Pomona might have adopted me. I was a Walnut child orphan.
Ooh.
And they adopted me. They took me right over.
They said, come kick it with the real people.
Yeah. Walnut's got some real heads too, but it's not as real as Pomona.
Oh, no, I know. I got you on that. So you played sports in high school.
Mm-hmm.
Did you college athletics?
I tried out for the firefighting thing at Mount Sac Fire Academy. And man, I was just too lightweight, to be honest. I was probably weighed at 130 pounds at the time.
How much you weigh now?
I weigh 130 pounds right now. But that's just because I was 145. But when I started boxing with George, without knowing it, I freaking lost 15 pounds.
You have some down, but you look like you got a little...
Still, yeah, I'm still strong,
Good.
So I'm slim, but I'm fast, but I'm strong. But anyway, we were talking about if I did any sports in college. And the only thing I did really was the Fire Academy. So that was tough. And I took that during the summer. And I got halfway through, and like at the end, I just stopped showing up. But those guys are hardcore, man. We hadn't even gotten to where you put the gear on yet and start doing that. We were just doing the exercises, and I would get first in the runs. But as far as like lifting the ladder and everything, that was pretty hard for me. But one day I would like to go back and try it again.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I was gonna ask you a question, but I think it slipped my mind. How to do something with Oh yeah, what are you doing aren't you at Mount Sac? I mean, I know this.
Yeah.
But what are you doing at Mount Sac right now?
Let's just say that I'm at Mount Sac right now, and I worked hard to get there. And I help people out with how to ride a motorcycle safely.
That's cool. No, like that's nothing to be underplayed.
Yeah, it's not. It's just weird.
You just made it sound like it was like underplayed.
A little bit.
You did.
I
don't like that. Let's do that again. I'm asking you again.
Go.
Hey, so what you work? You work at Mount Sac, correct?
Yeah, I'm a motherfucking motorcycle safety instructor at Mount Sac.
Hey man, you gotta teach kids how to properly ride. Well, not kids. You gotta teach people how to properly ride a motorcycle.
That's true.
I almost crashed on one.
Oh yeah, you rode your homeboys on.
Well, yeah, you heard the story, right?
Yeah, no, I didn't hear the story, but I saw when I came over to your house that your homie had one, and I was like,
oh man,
at one point Renato's gonna get on that.
Not the blue one.
Oh, I was talking about the blue one.
The blue? No, I haven't. I wouldn't trust myself on this blue motorcycle. It's too big.
Okay.
My roommate has a green. Used to have a small green motorcycle.
Oh, okay.
And I rode it once in the back of warehouses when everything was closed on a Saturday, I think. And I gave it gas, and it was cool. Like I've been on an ATV, a quad, but that's 4 wheels and they balance. So I'm going, and all of a sudden I pick up too fast. And I was like, how do I stop? So I put my feet on the ground and I let go of the gas, so it stays on. So I'm like this. And all of a sudden I hit, and it slows down, and I hit the curve. Thank God I was slow. I didn't fall off. It did nothing. There was no damage because I was going that slow. But then I tried to go around, and I forgot. I didn't know how to turn properly because it's hard to turn those bad boys.
Yeah, it is.
And I went straight, and I was like, I don't know how to stop because I didn't want to drastically stop because I'm thinking momentum might carry me forward.
Everyone thinks that's going to happen.
Does it?
It's actually very rare for that to happen unless you're going super fast and snatch the front brake up. That's when you'll do those somersaults.
Oh shit! Okay, so I was thinking that was gonna happen. I guess not. So then I ended up trying to make a turn. So I ended up going literally in the middle of the traffic of the street. No, well, thank God there was no traffic. I ended up going in the middle of the main street, but it was a Saturday, middle of the day in the industrial area, so no cars were coming. I was just there, sitting there for like 5 seconds, like I could have died.
Yeah.
I could have died. So it's important, man. Bike safety is important. That's why I think it's important that people know what you do, man.
Thank you. I appreciate
you save people on the bikes.
Yeah, and it's funny because when I fail somebody on the test, I'm like, feel bad about it sometimes, but then in the back of my head, I'm like, nah, forget that. You just saved this person's life. If they need more practice, they need more practice.
How does it go? Like, how does the testing go? How do you go about that?
So, you go through the classroom. You have to watch a PowerPoint on day 1, and then on the second half of day 1, you actually have to ride the motorcycle, and then you do that same process on day 2, but it's more advanced. And then at the end of day 2, you get you get tested on the knowledge of the PowerPoint, and then at the end of day 2, you get tested on how you ride the motorcycle. And there's 5 tests on the motorcycle, actual test. And if you pass that test, you don't have to go to the DMV and take their test. You could just, ours waives theirs.
How many tests? How many days of testing are there? How many days is this class?
The class is a 2-day class.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So I can learn how to ride a motorcycle. That doesn't sound good.
It's like I said.
Go ahead.
Go
ahead. I don't know if that sounds good.
So what I tell my students is we'll get you in. It's just like when you start training a person who hasn't been trained in a long time to lift weights.
Okay.
If you had 2 days with them, you could tell them, hey, I can get your foot where it needs to go. I can get your foot in the step in the right direction. But you need multiple days and years upon years of muscle memory to do what you got to do. But we're going to point you in the right direction.
Okay, fair enough. Good point. Good point. Cool. I'm about to say, man, I don't know if I would want to be on the bike 2 days after just doing that.
Yeah. I definitely, when they pass the class, I tell them, all right, congratulations, guys. And everybody claps. And I go, but just remember that this is the preschool of motorcycle riding. Right. And everyone's like, oh my God, yeah, he's right, because it's 2 days. You can't learn too much.
They're like, we did it. You haven't done shit yet.
Yeah, we haven't done nothing.
Has anyone fallen?
Oh yeah, dude.
Is it bad?
It's bad.
If they fall, do you fail them?
If they drop the bike on the test, I have to fail them.
Ooh. Has anyone dropped on the test?
Oh yeah. I had one of my best friends come through, and on the first exercise, he before he got to the first cone, he grabbed the front brake, and he's a tall dude, and it was just funny because he fell.
Did he fall back?
And I started laughing at him because it was my friend. Like, if you're just my student and I don't know you, I'm not gonna laugh, obviously. But it was my friend, so I was just like, it was comedy.
So you're like, ha, jackass, you fell.
But the thing is, you get to come back one time for free if you fail. So you get to retake the test one time for free. If you fail that second time, then you got to pay again.
On average, how many people come through your class? How many people are you teaching?
During 1 week, I probably teach 12, 24 times 2. 60 people a week.
Do they call you teacher or what do they call you?
Instructor.
Nah, you'll know because you're technically not a teacher. Or you're technically, they call you instructor?
Yeah, well, they just call me Russ. I just tell them to call me by my name, but
Tell them to call you Bob from now on.
Bob.
I'm just kidding. I'm just trying to be funny. And it works. What valuable lessons have you learned from being that instructor?
Oh man, so many lessons. That's a great question.
Hell yeah, I'm glad
the
it is.
number one thing is to just be patient with people. Everybody learns different, and if you're like drilling somebody and their head is just not taking in information anymore, it's best to just shut up and let the motorcycle teach them, and not try to like keep telling them what to do, because they're already like, it's a violent act. It can be a violent and a very scary thing for a lot of people. So if you just lay back, that ends up being the best teacher, because they're learning the whole time.
Damn, you just dropped the gem.
Thank you.
Nice. Yeah. On that note, we're gonna take a quick break. We'll be right back.
Fuck, my bad. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Let's go. Let's go. What up, y'all? We're back. So
up?
we'll pick. Getting tongue tied here. We'll start right off again.
So, patience.
Patience, especially with students, especially when they're on a motorcycle, because they're freaking out. They're concerned about everything besides themselves. So if you fill their head up with too much information, they freak out.
Do you feel like when it comes to teaching somebody or coaching, because I think instructor, coach, teaching, from trainer, to me, it's all the same. In just different ways of, being that title. So do you feel like you have a deeper understanding of yourself now when it comes to the position you're in?
Definitely, yes. Especially with me being the youngest instructor at the site that I work at by at least 10, 15 years, maybe.
That makes you feel a type of way, doesn't it?
It
like
definitely
a good thing, like a good type of way.
Yeah, it's like, damn, I earned my keep here, and like these guys, they know that I'm certified, so
they know you're a real one.
Exactly, and they know I'm young and dumb and full of what still, but they still respect that I work hard. You know what I'm saying?
I haven't heard that saying in some time, dude.
That's what they tell me all the time.
Young and dumb and full of, that's true. Yeah. All right, man. So, like you said, you're expecting to talk about spirituality, music, success. So, we're gonna leave this table. This table is yours now. Go ahead. What you want to talk about?
Sweet. First off, do you guys meditate?
Yeah.
Yes.
Damn.
That was quick. I like
yes.
that.
Yes, that's for me. It doesn't matter as far as like day, night, before, after bed.
After
bed, I hear that.
Because for me, I'm sorry, Nato.
No, go ahead. You're talking. Go ahead.
For me, it's a necessity. Because especially like some of the things that I personally that I either go through or like I tend to get I have like high anxiety.
Sure.
So that's helped me extensionally a lot as far as like either to calm myself down or just like put my mind at ease of certain things, or like if I'm overwhelmed with certain things or like, of life, that's also been beneficial. But it has like a lot of benefits as far.
And how long would you say you've been meditating for?
I'm gonna say I started taking it serious around, I would say 2012, when I started moving out on my own. That's when I really started to take it serious. Because for one thing, like it was the first time having my own apartment, is my personal space. So I felt like I could absorb it a lot more versus when I was at my parents' house. So
I heard that.
That's real.
Nato, what do you got to say about meditation?
I think I asked Judah this. You know who I'm talking about. Judah 1. I asked him
Shout out to Judah 1. Shout out to the line like
one.
mine state as well.
I asked him, could it be possible that someone could be in a constant state of meditation daily, like at 100% reflection? I think there's moments where I feel like I'm there, but then at the same time where I get caught up in other stuff that I shouldn't be doing by being, distracted and whatnot. But yeah, I want to say I meditate, reflect daily. I like what Vector said. He said after sleep, which is technically true. After bed, because you really are in a meditative sleep state. But I think it's like you said, it's crucial. I think I feel like this is even meditative because we're so caught up in the now, being in tune with the room we're in, but also being able to speak, being able to be aware, being present in the now. So I think, It's important. It's a good way to find yourself and be in the present moment.
Tight. I like that. Yeah, I definitely do a little bit of meditation myself as well. I did some today. I also had some pancakes today because I know you've been on the pancake grind.
Man.
Shout out to pancakes, man.
Pancakes are good for you.
Yeah, they're good for the soul.
Really good for
Throw
the soul.
some cinnamon on there and some butter. That'll help you out.
Coconut oil too. Coconut oil and cinnamon. Coconut. You know what the secret is to my pancakes? People don't know this. I put coconut oil on the pan, and I put butter on the pan, and I let it blend together, and then
there it is.
It's crispy on the outskirts, but also just perfectly, soft in the middle.
Damn, he said crispy on the outskirts, y'all.
Yeah, I get down with my pancakes. I don't play. I don't play pancakes. I really enjoy my pancakes.
That's what's up. And then I guess since my next question would be, I think a lot of people want to know, especially with Renato, what's up with your new? I know you got a new spot now, so what people want to know, man? Like, what's the deal with that?
I thought we were supposed to talk about you about stuff. So I relocated outside of my friend's facility. Her gym was called My New Body Fitness. Mm-hmm. I relocated into a new facility called Threshold. Shout out to Threshold. I love it. Vector, what do you think about it?
It's definitely more, I would say more. I can't find the words. It's more
geared towards what we're doing.
Yeah, and there's options.
Yeah,
as far as like more workouts.
That's good.
Because I would say definitely last week it was the first time where I had to bring my gallon of water for a while because I knew like for Renato being my trainer and just the potential exercise. And just the goal that I wanted to do as far as like for my health and my body.
Right.
Like there was just looking at the whole facility as like, oh, I can do this now. Mm-hmm. Oh, we can do this now. And then just as far as like he and I are in the same mindset, like what we want to do in terms of like just exercise. So like, yeah, it's definitely, I like where it's going and I like the facility because it definitely gives me more options in terms of like either just exercise wise or in terms of like just weightlifting as well too.
Heck yeah.
That's sick.
I know. Well, good. It's a good thing you asked right now because, we got somebody who actually trains there. Yeah. I like it. I feel like I'm back in high school because it reminds me of that grind. Like this is the environment where you would train at for a high school athlete that wanted to get to the next level. Mm-hmm. The trainers there are phenomenal. I think all my clients, I know all my clients love it. It feels like I've only been there for 2 weeks. This Monday will be my 3rd week there and it already feels like home.
That's awesome. That's sick. I'm really glad to hear that you're in like a cool place now. Not that you were in like a bad place earlier, but I felt like you needed like, your own little spot, which is cool. Yeah, I'm trying to think about what else I want to talk about really quick. We talked about meditation. We talked about Nato's new spot. I'll just say that I'll just talk about my goals that I have coming up. Go ahead, man. Go ahead. So I'm looking to get another skateboard because I want to get back into skating a little bit. I'm taking actually some motorcycle safety classes myself to learn more because I know I'm a decent rider, but the guys that I work with, they're like top notch, like 30 years CHP, and the other dude used to race in Mexico since he was like 3. So they're really good. So I'm trying to improve my skills there. And what else do I got going on? Music all the time. Like even if I try to stop doing music, I catch myself like still trying to do music.
I feel like you don't, as a true artist will never stop.
Yeah.
You can't. It's in you. Mm-hmm. You got the bug, bro.
The bud.
Bug. It's just who you are. Nothing's wrong with it.
Yeah.
It's just something you got to accept.
Mm-hmm. Oh, shout to Lion Like as well. We're going to have a Lion Like on the 20th?
So 28th?
28th.
Damn, in Pomona, Fairfax.
And I'm supposed to be helping out with that. I was supposed to go to the last one, but I actually went to Pennsylvania last month, which was really cool.
Oh, hold on. Let's talk about that. Why'd you go to Pennsylvania?
Dude, they sent me over there to teach some motorcycle lessons.
Really?
Yeah.
The Mount Sac sends you out there.
Yeah.
So talk about that. Let's hear this. How was it? Let's talk about how you got the opportunity to go to Pennsylvania. Mm-hmm. What did you do and how was it? Let's be honest. Let's be honest. Let's be honest.
All right. So the way I got the opportunity was I'm just a bad mother. No, I'm just kidding. So the company that I work for, I actually don't work for Mount Sac. I work for this company who's kind of a little bit under the government, I guess I would say. That the government hires them to do the right thing. And anyhow, they're giving you the opportunity to go to Pennsylvania because they don't have enough instructors over there. So they just need people who already are an instructor to go over there and help them with the workload that they have, right? And the reason I got to go is because I'm young. All these other dudes who are instructors normally, or women, dudes or women, they're all older and they have families. So it's very hard for them to just to take like an impromptu trip to like Pennsylvania or like, you know, somewhere crazy that's like out of their scope. So for me, when they sent me that email, I was like, right here, like I'll go right away. I've always like we talked about adventuring earlier and that just being in my music. Like I think everyone's an adventurer at heart. So like just to tap into that a little bit and spend 10 days in a land that like you have no idea about really, that was awesome.
What'd you do outside of working? What'd you do?
I went to Pittsburgh, man, and I went to Blue Slide Park, R.I.P. Mac Miller. Yeah.
Was it emotional out there?
It was not really emotional. It was just cool. You know, I like Mac Miller and it was cool to go there. And there was people shooting music videos there when I was there. And I was just kind of hitting my vape and it was raining and like it was cool, man. Like and then they upgraded my rental car. So like I was rolling in like a pretty nice Jeep on accident. I was supposed to just get like a Nissan whatever, but they upgraded me to the Jeep and I was like, hell yeah. But yeah, man, Pennsylvania was cool. Blue Slide Park, Mac Miller, that's the name of like one of his first projects, and he's actually on the Blue Slide Park in the album. Yeah. So R.I.P. Mac Miller, and Pittsburgh is tight, man. And I got lucky; it was like an hour drive away from my hotel, one of my hotels I was at. So yeah, like Pittsburgh's tight. It really reminds me of LA, except they got like 3 rivers running through it that are like super huge. It's crazy. Yeah, there's like huge rivers. It's like if you're in downtown LA, but there was like huge rivers running down the middle of it.
Just running down and chilling?
Mm-hmm. Not really chilling. Like they're flowing pretty fast.
They're moving.
They're moving quick.
What did you eat out there?
I had what was called a bison burger, and it was delicious.
Bison burger.
It was really good.
What is not Philadelphia?
Pennsylvania.
What is Pennsylvania known for food wise?
They're known for their, I guess, a certain type of berry. I believe it's the boysenberry or something.
Boysenberry?
Yeah, boysenberries. Yeah.
Pittsburgh?
No, Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania?
Yeah. And so they're known for that, and they're pretty close to where the Philly cheesesteaks are pretty popular, right? So I kind of...
How close is Philadelphia?
I'm not sure, bro, to be honest. I'm really not sure. But it's damn close compared to...
Did you have a Philly cheesesteak?
I did have a Philly cheesesteak while I was out there. It was pretty bomb. I don't know if that... It was like lived up to the hype, but it was pretty good.
Was there french fries involved?
Yeah, I got sweet potato fries.
Oh, sweet potato fries. Was it like the special dip for it too? Like the...
Oh, like the au jus or whatever it's called?
Well, I don't know what kind of dip they have for...
Like a French dip thing?
I think so.
Yeah, that's called like au jus. I be on my cooking shit, man.
Man.
Au jus, yeah, they didn't have that.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
I need to get out of here. I need to go to Pittsburgh.
Pennsylvania.
My bad, Pennsylvania.
But to be honest, I did feel a little bit of... who the hell are you? You know, because like I was literally the only brown person I saw the entire time I was there. There was maybe like a couple black people there that I saw, but for the most part, it's all white people. And that's just a weird feeling. I felt like I had to watch Get Out when I came back home because I hadn't seen Get Out yet, and I wanted to compare it to how I felt. And yeah, it was just a strange feeling, man. I walked in every place I went to, they're like, "Can we help you?" And I just felt like saying, like, yeah, you guys can help me like everybody else, you know? Like, you don't need to, like, ask me, you know?
Right.
What's up? Like, what's up? Like,
yeah, like, I'm just chilling, you know? But every time I walked in somewhere, they're like, oh, like, can we help you? And I'm like, yeah, I'm just going to take this.
I'm a paying customer.
I'm a paying customer, going to sit down at the bar, you know? So.
Have you been to Ohio before?
No.
Oh, my God.
I haven't been to Ohio.
Went to Ohio.
Yeah.
I know that feeling of, oh, I'm different.
Yeah, dude.
What's up?
Big
How y'all
time.
living? Okay, I guess I'm not welcome. I feel it. But I'm going to be here. I'm going to be here.
whether you like it or not. And I'm
No,
going to be
it's
in
real.
the nice hotel with the Jeep.
Ooh,
So-
with the G.
So you guys let me know if you need the money at the bar or not.
Did you get into some trouble out there?
I didn't get into trouble, but I did try. I went to Pittsburgh on the one day that they gave me off. I headed right to Pittsburgh, went to Blue Slide Park, Mac Miller, you know, and then I went to the bar right after. Actually, I went to a really nice hotel, and they so happened to have a bar in there. That's where I had the bison burger. And I said quesadilla out loud, and the guy was freaking out. He was like,
Wait, was he really?
Yeah, he was like, oh my God, say that again. And I was like, quesadilla. And he's like, that's crazy. Everyone over here says like, I forget how to say it.
Quesadilla.
And he's like, can you say that again? And I had my Dodgers hat out there. Shout out to my boy Judas, wanted me to wear my Dodgers hat. It was a good idea because lets everybody know, like I'm from over there.
Hell yeah.
So yeah, it was cool. And I had a couple drinks there, rum and cokes. I've just been drinking a lot of rum and cokes ever since. And yeah, so that was cool. I got pretty buzzed there, and then I asked him like, hey man, what's cool to like walk nearby around here? And he's like, oh well, we have the Pittsburgh Pirates like stadium over here if you just walk across the bridge, and it's like a really nice view. So that's what I did, and I went in there, and the stadium was actually open. I just opened the door and walked right in, and no one asked me for a pass or anything.
Yeah?
Yeah, and like there wasn't a game or anything, but like it was still nice to go in there and like look around,
No one told you anything?
No one told me nothing, bro.
Wow.
Like I was just walked in and I had the whole thing to myself, and it was empty. And then I was after that, I walked out and I kept walking down, just finding whatever I could find. And I actually bumped into the Carnegie Science Hall. And I went there and I did rock climbing for my first time. And that was cool, man. And this little kid was right next to me. And he was like, hey, man, like, you got to try rock climbing. And I was like, why do you think I'm taking off my sweater, And he's like, that's right. And then he goes, what level are you going to try? And I go, what level are you on? He's like, I'm on medium. And then the girl, she was there. And I was like, what's the hardest one? She's like, this one over here. And I was like, all right. So I tried that one. And now I was killing it. And at the very end, you have to slap a button at the top, right? And that was the scariest part because you got to let go of one hand and reach up. But I did it really quick, and then she's like, you could just jump back and it'll like take you down, and you just push off the rock and like it cascades you down. Like,
did you do that?
Yeah, I did. I was like on some James Bond shit.
Were you scared?
I was a little bit scared at the top. I'm not gonna front, but I wasn't about to let that kid get there before me. So.
Damn, you beat the kid.
I beat the kid, man.
Wow.
I had to do it.
That's messed up. You're supposed to let the kid win. No, you're not supposed to let the kid win. You're not supposed to let the kid win. Did the kid hype you up to go rock climbing, or you just were down with it before?
I was down with it before, but I'm not gonna lie. He gave me that little extra boost of like, dude, yeah, you gotta hit the button at the top. Because it was funny because I didn't even know there was a button at the top. And then when I got to the top, I was like, hey, what do I do? And he's like, dude, hit the button at the top. It's a super small button that you couldn't even see. And then you hit it, and it's like, like makes a little noise, and you come down.
Shout out to the kid. What was the little kid's name?
I think his name was Ralphie.
Ralphie.
Yeah.
Sounds Pennsylvania.
It was very Pennsylvania. And his dad was there like, man, I wish I could rock climb with my son, but like I'm glad this guy's here, like, letting my son have fun, as well.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
You're gonna be a great dad.
Hey.
From that story, I just took that you're gonna be a great dad.
I appreciate that. And I'm trying to be a dad anytime soon. Though.
No, I don't think any of us are trying to be a dad yet. No, not yet. Not yet. It's already halfway through the year.
Yeah, man, that's quick, huh?
How you talked about New Year's resolutions on this show, so we're gonna talk about midway through resolutions. Have you been on top of your?
I've been mad on top of my goals, but that's funny that we mentioned this. I got so prepared for this on accident. Like I would look through my goals this morning. I meditated and whatnot.
So you knew I was going.
Yeah, I was a little prepared. Oh, you know what? Also, I wanted to bring up was you went to that like millionaire success thing.
Oh yeah,
I went to that like 3 days ago.
Yeah,
I went to the same exact thing.
Really?
Bro. I got the free book and everything.
Yeah. How can you tell me?
Because I went to a different spot. That's why I hit you up about it. And I was like, hey, what was that? And then I don't think you replied. So I was like, oh, whatever.
My bad.
No, it's all good. I was like, I'm gonna catch him on the podcast or whatever.
With who spoke at yours? Was it a
some guy?
Real estate guy?
Yeah, real estate guy.
Was he talking like very, very fast?
Super fast.
He was like, all right, listen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. And he was like super hyped, but like he's like, I gotta go, but like let's just get this done.
Wait, that's what he said of mine too.
Yeah,
he didn't have to leave.
He didn't have to leave, bro.
Salespeople.
Salesman, man.
Wow.
The life of a salesman.
What'd you take away from that?
Excuse me. I took away a book for free. That's what I took away.
I feel
Thank you so much for that. Actually, I showed up for the book, and then like what he was talking about was separate from the book.
It was.
So
I was kind of like I wasn't upset.
You weren't upset, but you were kind of thrown off.
I was just kind of like, but it all makes sense because now this is how it works, right? So that guy's under Dean Graziani, whatever his name is, right? Grazioso, something like that.
I believe so.
So now the gentleman who gave us the talk at ours is the same one who did yours, I'm assuming, because we just described him and it sounds the same.
Sounds like him for sure.
Sounds like him. And now did he talk about the other guys from Shark Tank?
He did.
Oh, see now let's put everything together. So, what's his?
Shout out to Shark Tank, man.
Shark Tank is tight. Solstice just talked about how we're all reflections of each other. So now we see all those people. They just that's their network.
Right.
So now my whole thing is, how do I become their network?
Right.
So now how I view it is this. You want to know the real reason why I love going to these events?
Why?
First and foremost, I want to study the speaker. I want to study him. I want to know how he's speaking to people.
You don't need to do no more speaking study, man. Your speaking is on point, bro.
But still, at the same time, I'm not doing what he's doing yet.
Right.
Like I'm not. Like I get it, but he does have more experience than I do, so I keep that in consideration.
Right.
But I want to know what makes him such an appealing speaker. Like, how does he engage with the crowd? Is he overzealous?
He is, and one thing I noticed is he goes from room to like side of the room to this side of the room, and he uses your name tag to his advantage. He'll be like, "Oh, Joe, like how much money do you want him?" And Joe's like, "Who the hell? How does this guy know
so
me?"
it's kind of like, how does you fucking know me?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
No, it was cool for that reason, and then to go network with the people there.
Yeah.
Did you talk to anybody?
I talked honestly.
Some people you kind of just like, I don't know.
I don't know if I should be in the room with this person.
Yeah,
but
it's a reality.
The dude next to me, he was an older gentleman. He cracked a joke as he sat down, and that was pretty much it. I kind of kept to myself at the end, and then in the middle of it, I was like, man, I got my book. I'm out of here. I saw one person leave. I was like, I'm with that.
No, because it gets to a point where you're just like, okay, we're not talking about the book.
Right, and I came for the book.
Like the book. Honestly, that book, Millionaire Success Habits by Dean Graziosi, is a great book. I haven't read it, but I have the art. No, let me finish. So I'm gonna be honest. I have the audio book. So I have the audio, listen to the audio, but I do recommend you do this. And I'll do it with you. So we'll hold each other accountable.
Okay.
So anyone who ever wants to do this too,
do it.
Dean Graziano's A Millionaire, How to Be Success Habits. But on the book, To Live a Better Life, it gives you all the actual call to actions where it says in the book, where it says, do this, write this out. So you actually get them printed. Do those. It's going to be a life changer.
It's in the book?
Yes, it's in the book. And I'll email all you that stuff too.
How to live your life, it says?
Yeah. Okay. Well, no. How to live a better lifestyle. It's a website. I'll send you all the information.
Okay, sweet.
Go ahead.
So cool. So on that note, we're going to take a quick break and we'll come back for the final part.
That's his thing, bro. That's a clap. Like that's his.
That was a clap. If I ever heard a clap, that was one of them.
That's like a clap.
It's a lifesaver when it comes to editing.
So yeah, so
saves you time, huh?
Yeah, so you know why we do that? You know why we do that?
Yeah, I used to be into a little video editing myself.
Yeah, what kind?
Well, when I was a skater back in high school, I was the filmer of the group. So not only was I like trying to be a good skater, but I was the one who had the camera with the fisheye, and I was taking the film home and making our montages.
Do you feel like that was a lot of pressure?
Hell no, it was fun.
It was fun?
Yeah, nobody was like, Russ, when's that coming out? Well, people were like, yeah, when's that coming out? But they weren't like, yo, it needs to look this way or this way. And I got to choose all the songs and everything. So it was fun for me.
I feel like now people are just like, when is it coming out? Because we're so used to everything, the turnover rate of everything.
It's being quick.
Here's the thing is like back then I wasn't even trying to make money or like nothing like that. I was just a kid making fun videos.
I don't even think for the money component. Yeah. I think what I'm saying is because there's like, you could have done if you were skating boarding at this day and age. Imagine you had this, right, and you're just here, and then you just go to iMovie, real quick, edit it there, blah blah blah. Yeah, an hour later, it's on Instagram. True. So like now when you're younger, you don't have we didn't have these resources. Definitely not. But imagine if we had these resources when we were younger. Yeah, I think we'd be on some shit.
Yeah, that would be crazy, and that's how the kids today must feel,
I hope so. Or do you feel like when you get older, you realize what you had?
Yeah, for sure. But I feel like
we didn't have iPhones when we were like 12, 14.
No, we had razors.
We had sidekicks.
But
you know what? If Apple...
That makes me feel old. Like
sidekick. No, exactly. Yeah. I love Apple. But
shout out to the Razor.
I didn't like the Razor. But if the Sidekick came out right now and did something where it was social media savvy when it came to like photography, videography, I would dabble with it. I would.
In what ways would you dabble?
I would own it.
Okay.
Like what that means, I would buy one.
You know what I've been thinking of doing is actually getting rid of my smartphone and like for one whole year get like a Sidekick or like a Razor just to force myself to get away from social media. But that's tough.
Here's the thing. It's tough for a lot of reasons, but I think it's if we got away from being on social media and really I'm gonna tell you what, because I had a BlackBerry. for a while, and you really have no access to social media. You go on Facebook, but there's no. You could do Twitter. You could do Instagram. I just farted.
Dude, come on, dude.
My bad.
Everybody just farted, man. I gotta go, man. I'm out of here.
Oopsie. Hey, leave this in here though.
Leave it in, bro.
God, sorry, I've been holding it in since we started 2 hours
good,
ago.
Bro.
Okay, well, going back to what we were talking about.
Social media.
So I had a
Social
BlackBerry,
Mm-hmm.
and before like I got into music, I had my BlackBerry. I wrote a lot of my poetry on my BlackBerry, but I was so productive with communicating because I wasn't worried about social media.
Right.
So this is when I was like modeling. This is when I was doing connecting with people. This is when I was networking. And I realized that I'm much more productive when I'm not on social media. Because I mean,
Same.
we could there's a lot of ways of viewing this, because we could make the argument that social media is needed to advertise or to promote. But at the same time, if the artist is not working on the craft, then what are we going to promote? Why not go MIA for a year? You're not gonna miss anything, because if it was that important, you're gonna find out. Go work on a project.
Yep.
Go start a business. Go travel. Go find some more inspiration. You're gonna come back and you're gonna realize I didn't miss anything, right?
And if I did miss it, it's right here saved on a post that I can just watch at any time.
Back. And I think we you know what? I'm gonna do something. I'm gonna go 6 months without going on social media.
For real?
I'm thinking about it, because there's something.
Let me know if you start that, because I'll try to get you back on that. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to commit, but I'll try.
Because here's the thing. Because if I could dedicate 6 months to music, business, and getting things done, because I have everything planned out, right? But how much time am I doing this?
Too much time. You just farted again, man. Come on. This is a new fart podcast.
I'm going to use the restroom. You talking.
All right. So while Renato's using the restroom and airing out the room, we got Vector here, right, Vector? And yeah, man. Since I know that you like MF Doom, tell me a little bit about how you got into MF Doom.
Boondocks.
Perfect, man.
Because at first, I mean, I was from my experience, like, I mean, I seen like the CD cover, and just like, I mean, there's been some cases where, I mean, I judged the book by its cover, and when I looked at it, I'm like, I think I was more turned off by, I think it was either the track listing or just the track numbers. But definitely what was a huge factor was the cover. Because when I looked at it, it's like, oh, it's just some dude trying to rip off Dr. Doom. So that was my immediate turnoff. So fast forward to like, I'm gonna say the fall winter of 2005. So I was watching the first season of Boondocks. So I was watching what was called the episode was called Heist, and of course it featured Samuel L. Jackson and Charlie Murphy. And then throughout the episode, that the MF Doom album was the soundtrack for that episode.
What?
So they actually played the song Heist on that episode. So when I first heard that song, I'm like, whoa, like, what is this? Like, what is this?
Exactly.
Like, who is this? Like, this MC sounds dope. And then they played it again, like another track from the album. I'm like, whoa. And then like they kept playing a few other tracks and snippets. I'm like, what is this album? Like, why didn't I get this album?
Right.
So like after the credits started rolling, it showed off like music from Mad Villainy album. I'm like, and when I saw that, I was like, whoa. I was like, that's the album that's the CD that I seen multiple times that I shoved it to the corner from Best Buy. Like that's the album. That's the album that I judged and said was going to be whacked, and it ended up being the total opposite. So, I mean, sum it up, like that's how I first got into MF Doom, was Boondocks.
That's ill, man.
Yeah.
That's an ill ass story. It's funny that you mentioned the Boondocks because my homie's trying to get me into the Boondocks. But yeah, shout out to the Boondocks, man. I've seen a couple episodes. It's fucking hilarious. But yeah, Doom, man. Doom is cool. The way I got into him was I was just, natural, smoking with my friends, and one of the friends brings it up, and I was like, "Who is this?" Same thing as you.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's one thing that sets Doom apart is when you first hear him, is you're just like, "Oh man, that's different," And yeah, the same thing for me. Same thing for me.
Yeah, and a lot of people like just assume that it was just MF Doom. Like it was actually a collab album between him and
Quasimodo or Madlib.
yeah, Madlib. So like that's what some people, and to my surprise, get thrown off. I was like, well, if you read like the album, like it's a collab,
Right?
you
Yeah.
know? But yeah, after a while, like I want to say, like after like, I would say like 2000, like couple years passed because 2006 was I would say a busy year for me. But like 2007, like as far as like a healing process for me, like I started getting back into music. So I started looking
Nice.
at MF Doom's like catalog and like start researching his other albums.
Right.
And that's how I got like more and more into him. And as far as like, Operation Doom,
Woo, fire.
just his other albums in general. It's like he's up there as one of my top producers and MCs.
For sure. Now, as far as a new artist, do you have any new artists that are out that you like, or are you just trying to kind of keep it in the 90s as far as hip hop goes, or maybe you're not into hip hop as much anymore and you listen to something else, or
No, I mean my first love will always be hip hop, but
Nice,
as
me too.
far as like I try to be more open-minded as far as like not try to time stamp my views in music, because like for a long time like I was very pro 90s,
right?
But as far as like just new people, it's tough. Kendrick is hit and miss with me. Same thing
Right.
with J. Cole. It's like he's a real super hit and miss with me. But I mean, beyond that, I mean, even though I'm starting to disagree with the way Joey Badass is kind of taking a direction, I would say like Joey Badass is like one that
That is
I
crazy that you
gravitate to.
mentioned Joey Badass. I was a huge Pro Era fan in high school. RIP Capital Steez, man.
Yeah.
And yeah, man, that's crazy that you mentioned that. It's funny because I feel like a lot of people, especially in our generation, they don't know about Pro Era or Joey Badass.
No, they don't.
Yeah, so they
don't at all.
that is a huge loss on their part because that's a huge part of hip hop history, actually.
Yeah.
So, Nado, we were just talking about artists that we like now that have came up, or yeah, is there any artist particular besides Joey Badass? So you can't say Joey Badass, but an artist that's coming out right now that you like, or has came out pretty recently.
That I've like been listening to, like
Yeah, just
that
someone
recently?
you're messing with, Nado's back, everybody, by the way. He's here.
Yeah, it's a tough question.
Once I got into making music, I stopped listening. I'm not gonna say stop making music. I just really don't listen to music like I used to.
Right.
Like I haven't. No artist that I've listened to or heard, except for like peers that I know of, has caught my attention.
That's good. I feel like that's good.
And yeah, there's no like. I feel like every artist, like when Kendrick and J. Cole, because I think I walked in on that. When Drake and all them, like I felt like, because of social media, I feel like it kind of not ruined it, but I feel like everybody got some type of limelight.
Mm-hmm.
And then it gave like artists who are really good artists not so much limelight. And it's just like, you sound the same as everybody else now.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I'm just like, oh, actually, A Boogie with a hoodie. I'm sorry.
A Boogie with a hoodie.
A Boogie with a hoodie. Have you guys heard of him?
It sounds familiar. I think I remember you actually playing him on your Instagram or something.
No, I don't think I played him on Instagram.
Somebody said something.
But A Boogie with the hoodie. I don't. The thing is, I don't know if he's new or if he's old. I don't know. But to me, he's relatively new. My roommates listen. A lot of the music I'll listen to is because of my roommates. It'll be Saturday or Sunday morning. They'll bump music.
That's what happens.
A Boogie with a hoodie.
Nice.
He took the rap sound with the singing and actually did a good job with it. He's I think he has he's beautifully arrogant and ignorant. Not disrespectfully.
Does it in a fun way.
He does it in a good way. Because you could be ignorant and arrogant. We all are.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a good way and a bad way about it. You know, you could be like,
I completely
you could be like, or you could just be like, yo, I'm gonna be arrogant in it. He has a song that says this: I'm feeling so nonchalant, and I want you to be my bitch. I was like, oh. But afterwards, like everything else he says afterwards, I was like, I'll take that.
I'll take that.
Okay. Yeah, hey, Boogie with a hoodie.
Cool. I'm gonna say really quick, Smino. If you guys haven't checked out Smino, I would definitely check out Smino. He's sick. I saw him in concert a couple months ago. He's sick. And just personally, as far as growing with listening to new music, I always listen to jazz and all that stuff, which happens to be a big part of the Mad Villain album, which me and Vector were talking about. But right now I'm getting into like metal and taking on that whole genre. So my mix is like flipping on its head, which is cool for me because it keeps things new and makes you want to work hard too. So it's cool to listen to that when you're working out.
Are you a thrasher? What is a thrasher?
A thrasher is someone gets up in that pit and thrashes out.
Would you consider yourself a thrasher or used to be in the past?
Oh no, I'm definitely a thrasher at heart.
How about you, Vector? Are you a thrasher?
No, but I mean, I like the music.
I feel it. Hey,
this is like, I mean, Metallica's early stuff. Like a lot of people credit them for being one of the people to start it. So,
mosh pit life.
Mosh pit life, and shout out to all the hip hop people making mosh pits at their thing because I think that's something.
I think hip hop deserves mosh pits.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, any type of music that can create that type of vibe, it's, you know.
Mosh out.
Mosh out,
Fuck
you know.
it.
That's one of my favorite things to do when I'm performing as well.
Have you been to a Slay Squad event?
Slay Squad? No.
Do you know who Slay Squad is?
Negative.
So they're a Rialto-based band. Rap, heavy metal.
Oh,
pretty interesting. Tight. It's cool. So at their events, when they mosh,
yeah. Goes off.
Like you know how there's levels to mosh pits, right?
Yeah.
Right. So I'm like a level 2 mosh pitter on the level. So we'll go out of 5.
Okay.
So 1.
Oh, out of 5, you're saying?
We'll go out of 5. Yeah. Okay. So 2 is like 3 is like where they're decent, where everybody's like really like
pushing pretty
pushing.
Hard.
4 is when it's like
right.
5 is when elbows and shit and broken hands.
Yeah.
And a girl broke her arm and still.
See, I'm not about that. When the women start getting hurt and they're not even about the pit, you guys need to
No. They were in the pit.
Oh, they were in the pit.
No, they was in the pit.
Oh, then you need to watch out. Yeah.
No, they were going harder than some of the guys.
Oh, okay. That's different.
Women will go harder than the guys.
Sometimes, yes, for sure.
But when a woman goes harder than a guy in the mosh pit, that's when I'm like, okay, I'm walking out.
Yeah, I'm gonna walk out.
But she broke her arm.
Dude, for real?
At a Slay Squad event.
Damn.
But it was crazy because I would have been like, Mom, she kept going.
Right.
And didn't stop.
Mm-hmm.
And was like, bring it. Now afterwards, I did this to her. I said this. You down with the shits.
And her hand was broken.
Like that.
That's a crazy ass story.
You have any crazy mosh stories?
Yeah.
What? No. It's like me, I'm like the opposite of mosh. Like for me, like I just go there to see a show.
That's part of the show, though.
It is part of the show.
Yeah,
it's part of the experience. What are you gonna say though?
Yeah, I've had some crazy mosh experiences. I actually shout out to my homeboy Judas. He's the one getting me into metal and all this stuff. But yeah, I went to go see Exodus, and apparently they're like kind of up there with Metallica and like kind of that whole. You know, I guess there's just like how there's a tower of hip hop, like you got Tupac, Biggie, and like, you know, the legends, you know, that started it off. There's that with metal as well. So I went to see this band called Exodus, and that stepped my mosh pit game up so high.
Oh, Exodus is
they're
legends.
They have a dance called the Toxic Waltz, and I was around for that song, and that shit was.
What happened?
People were waltzing toxically, bro. Like it was crazy. Like just the whole room spinning. This is at the Anaheim House of Blues. A huge room. You got like, I don't know, 200 people in one floor just going around in a circle. And if you fall, it's not like, you know, they keep on like messing with you. They pick you right up. And it was just a really cool vibe, like an aggressive vibe, but still like a friendly vibe, which was really cool. Because
it's like a respect thing. Like people you don't mosh to hurt
prove
somebody.
yourself,
You don't.
yeah.
You don't mosh to hurt somebody. You don't mosh to prove yourself. You mosh because you got rage.
You got that rage, and you're one of the people who are all in here, and you're all experiencing this awesome event, and it's never gonna happen outside of here. So
Nope. So
might
enjoy
as well
it.
Enjoy it, yeah.
Rage respectfully and responsibly.
Do the 3 R's: rage respectfully and responsibly.
Responsibly. Rage respectfully, responsibly.
That's it. That's all it is.
I'm gonna make a song called Triple R.
Triple R is coming out soon.
Soon, respect, responsibly, respectfully.
Yeah,
Wait,
something like that.
Rage, rage, respectfully,
Responsibly.
responsibly, respectfully, rage.
Yes.
There you go.
There we go.
There it
There you
is.
go.
Because it didn't make sense. I was like,
For a while, I
rage.
was like, well, technically it's 2.
Yeah. I was like, wait, no. But
yeah, man.
so what's summer looking like for you? What you doing this summer? Any big plans?
My big plan is to move out next month out of my parents' house.
Are you in the Riverside?
Right now, I'm still in Pomona.
Pomona.
So plan on moving out to somewhere near Upland, maybe.
Okay.
And,
New town. Stay down.
New town, man, and just get it's about time to get out the parents' crib and be your own person.
How old are you?
I'm 25. I just turned 25 in May 16th.
Yeah, you're about that. Like
I'm right there.
You're there. You're there.
It's a good age.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say this though for all the people
I
viewing
appreciate
at home,
you guys saying that too.
moms, dads, thank you so much. So all my little kids out here,
Mm-hmm.
stop trying to rush and being an adult.
Mm-hmm.
It ain't all fun and games.
Mm-hmm.
Because then when you got bills that come every 1st and the 15th of the month, rent, and when rent's due,
Especially Cali rent.
shoot, when rent's due and you ain't got that rent, I hope you like sleeping outside.
Mm-hmm.
And if you could live at your parents when they won't say, and obviously they're gonna give you crap, but if you ain't gotta pay rent, or if you do gotta pay rent and it's cheaper than paying your rent at your own spot, be smart, save your money.
There's gonna be days where you don't eat.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
That's from experience.
yeah,
So, and like Nato also said, like your main concern is to make sure you have a roof over your head. So if you need to pay that rent bill, that's priority.
pay rent.
So
'Cause
that's
I'd rather have a house over my head than food.
Mm-hmm.
No,
That's deep. Yeah, I totally agree. I'm at the point where
Yeah.
I'm a little too comfortable where I'm at, and I'm just like, I'd rather be uncomfortable in my own place than comfortable in not my own place.
no, I
Yeah.
think
You know what I'm
I've learned that. Like I'd rather have a house over my head than some food.
For real. Yeah.
Yeah, because I know I never had a home. Even when I live with my mom, I love my mom, but I have a home
Yes.
that I've created,
Mm-hmm.
which is beautiful.
Shout out to all the moms out there, man. My mom was definitely important for me.
Does your mom support your music?
She does. Did
Did it take her some time?
No. My mom listens to Tupac and it's crazy.
See,
So,
moms, just because your son wants to rap does not mean you don't have to support him. You can support your kid.
my mom actually tries to go to my shows, and I'm like, nah, mom. Like,
No, let her go to a show. Wait, what happened to Ernesto?
he's still cool. He bought a van, and he does shows out of the van and uses the van to move his gear around and whatnot.
Oh.
Why, did something happen to him? That I don't know
No, I'm
about?
just asking because
Oh, okay.
last time I talked about Ernesto was at a show,
Oh, okay.
and we said show, and for some reason his name just popped in my head.
Oh, okay. He's the guy who's got the shows in Pomona.
Yeah,
For sure.
that's why. But shout out to mom. I'm glad your mom been supportive. But
Shout out to
that
my
was our
moms.
cue. The alarm went off.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead and let us know. Give us your your socials and your social security number too.
Social security number, guys, is going to be
Psych. That's what it is. But let us know what's good in the hood. Let us know what's coming. Let us know what you're doing and where we can find you stripping at.
All right, yeah. So I'll be stripping at Tony Masters on Instagram. I'm not stripping. TonyMasters Tony Masters. And then also, so that's more of my art stuff. Like Tony Masters is gonna be making beats. It's gonna be rapping. It's gonna be things like that. How to, and I just posted a video today that Nato saw. How to make a beat quickly is on there if you use
Yes,
Ableton
I saw
Live.
that. I know you was able to know.
Even if you don't use Ableton Live, you can watch the video and get a couple good clips. Anyhow, really quick, Tony Masters on the Instagram, and then gar_CIA_ for my motorcycle stuff. That's gonna be kind of more for that account, like more success, motorcycle, day to day. What am I eating? Like sushi, just random things more on that account. And
Working out.
and yeah, so that's pretty much it. Garcia and Tony Masters. And shout out to my crew, Invisible Committee. Make sure you follow Gosk47, Ren Sims, City X, And that's it, man. Invisible Committee, look out for us because we got a tape and it's been ready to drop for like a year now. And I'm the one holding it back. I kind of have my finger on the trigger.
Stop holding back.
And I'm just ready to pull it right now. So it's going to be dropped soon.
Soon.
That's it.
That's it. You can find me at New Age Takeover.
Nice.
I am New Age Takeover on my music stuff, personal stuff. New Age Athletics. We're dropping merch soon. But yeah. Vector, sign us off, baby.
So yeah, again, you can find us on Untapped Hip Hop at Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, and things of that nature. So on that note, thank you for tuning in for today's episode of KOS. And on that note, peace.
Go love your mama.